Hello everyone, I'm Marina and Nails Sakramel School. It's extremely popular now to do nail extensions with dual forms, but not many nail technicians know how to do it properly. In this video, I will give you a step-by-step guide to using dual forms. Coming up! There is a huge variety of dual forms on the market. You can use them all for nail extensions, but there are different types. You can choose a shape that you need. These dual forms are ballerina shaped, but you can also use them for almond shaped nails. There are universal dual forms. They can be used for square, oval, and almond shaped nails. But I recommend you use almond shaped dual forms for almond shaped nails to do extensions faster. There's a huge variety of dual forms to choose from, as I've said, so it may be really confusing. First things first, decide on your future nail shape. Choose a sculpting technique. Complex nail sculpting from the cuticle to the free edge, or sculpting the free edge and building up the cuticle zone with a different material. Another important thing is what your dual forms are made of. All of them are made of plastic, but what kind of plastic? There are soft and hard types of it. Both have particular pros and cons. Use dual forms made of soft plastic in the cuticle zone to get a smooth transition without gel overlays. But when we apply too much pressure to such forms, they can stretch out. The free edge will be bell-shaped. As for hard plastic forms, they won't be that smooth for the cuticle zone. There can be gel overlays, as this dual form suggests, because it's really thick. Some nail technicians trim their dual forms to attach them better to the nail plate. There are different types of dual form architectures. This particular one is for curved square nails. Use it to sculpt square nails with prominent C curves. We can use this dual form with a natural curve as well. It's not going to be that obvious. Nails will become stronger, but they will still look natural. When trying a dual form on, turn the fingernail sideways. There are flawed dual forms. Bring it up close to the cuticle and it will go up like this. Then we have to leave a gap in the cuticle zone to even out the parallels coming from the nail ingrowth points. Here are my recommendations for those who don't know what to start with. There are two options for you. Buy stiletto-shaped forms to sculpt almond, oval, or stiletto-shaped nails. Another option is this universal kit. These are natural-looking forms, while this one has dual forms with prominent C curves. There are mixed dual form kits as well. You just need to buy one single kit, not many of them. This kit includes 10 types and shapes of dual forms. You can use it to sculpt a modern almond shape. It has a more prominent curve than a standard almond shape, but it looks gorgeous. Buying dual forms is not about opting for popular brands. What really matters is configuration. Choose those shapes that you actually need. Besides, there are different types of transverse curves. The one on the left is rounded. The one on the right is flat. Choose your fighter wisely, depending on the natural nail. To go with a curved nail, we should use this one. Round dual forms will be perfect for curved nails, while this one will be great for flat ones. My model has flat nails, as you can see here, no prominent nail folds. If we use a round dual form, it's not going to fit the nail. There will be tons of material between the nail and the dual form. It's going to be really thick. In this case, use a dual form with a smaller transverse curve. to get beautiful nails that are not too thick. I have already prepped the nails and removed the free edge. You can keep some of it if you wish, but this one was too short initially. Sometimes it can help to align the material on the inside to prevent pulling. I have manicured and polished the nails. Let's apply adhesive products, a primer, and some base coat. Use a thin brush to coat a couple nails at a time. We can use a base coat brush, but the coating will be thicker. Wiping off the tacky residue from the base coat is optional. I usually keep it as it is. Let's try our dual forms on. We can do it before or after applying our base coat. Grab a dual form that you think will fit the nail, but you can't tell for sure. Apply it to the nail and check if the form continues the nail on the side walls or not. Then turn the nail sideways. Check if there is a space between the nail and the form. If your dual form is not big enough to cover up the sides, then it is too small. You should use a bigger one instead. To avoid cracks in the ingrows points, make sure not to press too hard on the dual form. The nail should not turn white. If that happens, then you should ease the pressure. Leave some space for your nail sculpting material. Otherwise, the nail won't last long. Now that you have a dual form of the right size, put it down right under the nail. I usually place all 5 of them correspondingly. Sometimes we may need even less than that. 5 will be just right. The nails are more or less the same on both hands, but the right hand has wider nails, so keep that in mind. Sometimes you may need more than 5 dual forms, but it shouldn't bother you. On the index and ring fingers, the nails are equally wide. You're going to need 1 form to sculpt 2 nails. Done with the first fitting. Now we should check if the form fits the cuticle zone to keep it nice and tight. This dual form touches the nail fold, so we should trim it a little bit to prevent pulling and lifting. We don't need that. Use your manicure scissors to trim the dual form. Get rid of the excess. Check whether the form fits the cuticle zone properly now. This area is absolutely unique. The cuticle line on the thumb is square-shaped as a rule. We can trim the form in the middle to make it fit, but I'm going to keep it like this. Let me just quickly cut some of it off from the left side. Again, you don't have to do it, but this step can help you work faster later. We're half through it. We have our forms. Now we can fill them in with gel. I'm going to use a blue gel for illustrative purposes. This color will be perfect for today's nail design. Turn the dual form over to fill it in with your gel. The question is, how much of it we actually need? A little drop as big as a green pea. That will do for medium nails. We need less gel for shorter nails, but we need more of that to sculpt long nails. Practice makes perfect. The more practice you have, the better your work gets. I'm sculpting the free edge to make it as long as I need it to be. I'm barely touching the gel at this point. I'm stretching it out without digging into it to avoid bubbling. I don't paint the cuticle zone to let it blend out naturally when I put the form on the nail. Make sure to cover up the side walls. Otherwise, the nail may crack in the ingrows points. Keep them covered. This is a basic technique, but there is a huge variety of them out there. Instead of gel, we can use polygel and acrylics. Check out my previous videos featuring different techniques. Let's make sure that there are no bubbles inside. Now we can transfer this gel to the natural nail. We're going to need a portable UV flashlight to cure the cuticle zone till it hardens a little bit to secure it. Then we can align the gel under the nail plate. You're going to need a helping hand at this point, or you can opt for a different kind of flashlight. There are many options, but I prefer to use this one. Before we apply the form to the nail, let's check the central axis going through finger bones. The dual form should be symmetrical to this axis. Make sure that it's straight to keep the nail even. Apply to the nail at a 45-degree angle. Start tilting the form down, but take it slow and wait till it covers up the side walls. The gel is aligning in the cuticle zone. Cure it with a flashlight to harden it a little bit. It takes about 3 to 5 seconds to cure it at this point. It is not pressed too tight, but it's secured on the nail. We can turn the hand over to align the gel on the inside. Use an orange wood stick for this, to clean up that pooled gel. We can also use a thin brush for this purpose, as well as a sculpting brush. Just be careful. Make sure to get rid of the excess material. Do not forget to fill in the sidewalls with the gel. I'm not stretching it out to lengthen the free edge, because I don't want to file it. I make sure that it's as long as I want it to be. Turn it over once again to check if the sides are covered. Make sure to touch up all the shear areas. Then we can cure it properly in a UV lamp. Wait for 1 minute till it hardens completely. Keep sculpting the nail or take the dual form off. Squeeze the free edge to remove the dual form. Wait till it gets separated from the nail plate and take it off like this. To slim the nails down, cure them for 20 to 30 seconds and pinch them with a pincher. I'm going to use this metal nail pinching tool. Only the free edge is pinched. Put a clip on to secure the curve. As for naturally slim nails, we don't need to pinch them. Just skip this step. Do the same to the rest of the dual forms. We can save a lot of time thanks to this technique. Once you have found out what forms fit your client's nails, make sure to write it down. Prepare an individual kit for them, so as not to waste time trying the dual forms on. The middle nail should be a bit longer than the index one. Make sure to leave a gap near the cuticle line. Otherwise, there's a chance that this nail is going to be like a springboard. The gel has pooled a little bit around the cuticle zone, but I can remove it with a wood stick. After that, we can cure the nail in the UV lamp. Do not cure that pooling gel, because it will be difficult to file it. Now cure the nail for 3 to 5 seconds and turn the hand over. Align the gel on the inside. I want to lengthen the middle nail. We can do it inside the form. According to the rules, the tip should be thick enough, about 1 millimeter thick, to be strong enough to last long. Do not use too much gel. Don't make it too long or thick, so as not to waste time filing it. The parallels are even and the side walls are covered, as we can tell by the side view. Make sure to touch up the areas that are too sheer. Cured in a lamp. We're almost done with it. Let's file the free edge and remove the overlaid gel from the cuticle zone if there is anything wrong. Wipe off the tacky residue from the back of the tip to prevent a drill bit from clogging. Some nail technicians teach how to adjust dual forms to get closer to the cuticle, but amateur nail technicians can't do it without pulling. So make sure to practice this technique first. You can get a perfectly smooth cuticle line with it. The speed is about 30,000 RPM. Turn the finger sideways, file it counterclockwise to even out the nail surface. You can shorten the nail with the same drill bit, if you feel like it. To shape the nail properly, start with the free edge. A nail file should be perpendicular to the nail. Move it in both directions to get a perpendicular line. The free edge should be sharp and even. Then we need to file the right sidewall of the nail. Use the file to separate the gel from the skin. To keep the sidewall even and avoid ruining it. Then we should turn the finger sideways again and place the file right under the nail blade. Now file the left sidewall and touch up the left parallel. Turn the finger sideways again. We can also touch up the nail surface with the file. Dual forms take care of the nail architecture, so we don't have to file the nails to touch them up. Let's file out the excess gel. Turn the finger over and pull the front fold back. I'm using a thin, cone-shaped drill bit for this, to reach every nook and cranny. You can use a thinner carbide drill bit if needed. Make sure to remove all the pulled gel if there is any. Use a diamond drill bit to file all of it out. This base coat acts as 2 coats of color. I make sure to keep it thin so as not to ruin this beauty. Let's cover it up with a top coat, 1 medium coat, and enjoy our beautiful nail extensions. If you like watching my step-by-step video tutorials, then support me and give this video a big thumbs up. Check out my channel for more manicure videos for beginners. Wishing you all beautiful nails. Good luck! Bye bye!